My name is Chris Kaufman, and I'm the owner of Nesting Goods, located in downtown St. Joseph, Missouri. Nesting Goods specializes in locally made items. We work with a lot of different local artisans. There are antiques mixed in, and then we do also order new items as well, but we focus on home decor and gifts, but we specialize in locally made. The way that we have found a lot of our local artisans, in the beginning it was me going to pop-ups or reading about someone online or in the newspaper and reaching out to them. As the years have gone on, we kind of have our own reputation and have had a lot of people come to us seeking out space. I've kind of curated the group of artists that we work with over the years. This isn't the right space for every single artist. I want the artists to feel successful in their showing, and sometimes we're just not the right brand or the right space for them. We don't run the business in a way where we rent out space to artisans. I merge everything together to make the business feel a little more cohesive. So when you're looking at like a vignette or an area, it's not just items by one artist, it's everything mixed. So a lot of my time is put into that. That's a lot of my creativity at this point. As the business has grown, my personal creative time has changed to focus more on that. Plus, it's a small business, so it's just me, and so I do all the behind the scenes business dealings as well. I have a lot of people, when they're shopping, make the comment like, oh, this is my dream, this would be so fun. And it is so fun. It's a creative outlet. It's a fun way to meet different people and talk to people visiting the city. It's a fun way to share about your city with people and encourage them to go out and appreciate what we have to offer. But there is a lot of behind the scenes work. There's a lot of extra time and hours and energy. It's very fun, but small business ownership, especially when it's like just you and maybe a helper here and there, is not for the weak. There's no standard day in the life of a small business owner. That's sometimes the biggest challenge. Like, you can be the most planned person, but when it's just you that's in charge of everything from cleaning the toilets to putting on the big events and welcoming the customers into the store, you have to be ready for anything that's going to get thrown at you. So my day generally starts with like coming in, making sure the store's presentable and ready to be open up to the public, which sometimes doesn't even happen that way. Sometimes you can be in the middle of a ginormous floor move and your open hours come up and you gotta be ready to welcome people and be like, hey, sorry about this mess. It's always evolving, always changing. The hardest part, I think, for me is making myself do the things that I enjoy the least, because the fun stuff, it's like, yeah, I want to go in and reset the store, and I got this cute stuff from the artisans and these new things in, and that's the really fun part. But sometimes the behind the scene things are the things that you put off till the last minute, and that makes those things a little bit harder. My husband and I have always been very creative, and we like to make things as gifts. And that's kind of how this started. We would make things for people and they'd be like, oh, you should sell these. So at one point we got a booth at a little makers or antique mall kind of place. And then we saw a building on the market and we got a wild hair and we bought a building, and here we are. I am born and raised in St. Joseph. I did move away for college and for a time period after that, which is where I met my husband. When we decided to marry and put down some roots, we liked the possibilities that we saw in St. Joseph, and especially in the downtown area when we started to invest. And that's why we chose this location. Our money goes a lot further in a city of this size than it would in a larger city. We own the building that we're located in. This is our second location in downtown St. Joseph, and we have rehabbed each building that we've been in. The buildings in our downtown are historic and could not be rebuilt today. Our downtown is full of small, locally owned businesses, and it's not any one business can make an area like this thrive on its own. It takes the community of businesses to do that. So we love to educate people not just about the artisans that we work with, but also about businesses that surround us and the history of our building, because we really have a lot of jewels in our downtown St. Joseph, and there's a lot of neat history. Small businesses right now are struggling. We've been in business for 10 years and I've never heard more struggle from my neighbors and and seeing it in my own business. One of the biggest challenges that I see right now myself, and I think, and what I'm hearing from a lot of my other small business owner friends, is no one could foresee the economy that we're in right now. And it has been very, very challenging for small business. Big box stores are, having unprecedented challenges themselves. And big box stores have a lot of extra cushion to survive times like that, where small businesses don't. The world is a very different place than it was 5 years ago. When you spend $1 at a small business, 68% of that dollar stays within that community. When you spend $1 at a national chain, 32% of that dollar stays in a community. When you shop at a small business, you're supporting your neighbors, you're supporting people that live in that community, that go to your schools, that live in your neighborhoods and are supporting your softball teams and your fundraisers and your schools. It really, really makes a big difference. As I've grown older, I see the importance in that, and I'm really hoping that younger generations are starting to realize what a huge difference that makes, because I don't think it's talked about enough. So we really love our downtown. We love the possibilities that we see in our downtown. St. Joseph, we have a lot of people who have grown up here and lived here, and there was a time when our downtown was bustling, very much bustling. It's gone through kind of several lifetimes. In my lifetime, because I'm born and raised in St. Joseph, this is the most that's ever been happening in our downtown. Having these buildings filled and having people come down and visit our historic downtown, that's what keeps these historic parts of our city alive and keeps them from falling to the ground. We've lost a lot of history just through the loss of buildings in our city. And that's one of the big things that keeps me going. It's a way of giving back to our community. It's a way of keeping this history and these buildings alive and working for the next generation, because they don't make things like this anymore. You couldn't rebuild a building like this. You couldn't rebuild a downtown like this. We just don't have the makers and the craftspeople that we did. We also like to be a part of the community. We look at this as a way to give back to the community, even though it's meant to be a business. We love the aspect of being able to share these artisans that we think are so wonderful right here in our city with the community.